2008, but my first experience, everything started in 1999, because I had an experience with an organization in Italy for disabled kids. And I started to use the water, introducing full session for them, because I saw them very different in the water for their motivation, but also for the sensory stimulation that they can receive in the water. And I started to write a lot about this effect and their reaction. So during my university, I started to try to use the water like a therapeutic setting. And then I created this kind of approach, but we can use the approach on land as well, because I left the word water in the acronym. ATDRA is dynamic therapeutic approach created in the water, and A is aqua in Italian, because I want to remind us to be like the water, so flexible, so the water welcome everyone and everything, but at the same time it's like an hug to hold, not to protect, but is the holding, in psychologist Winnicott says holding to describe the embrace of the mother's embrace that make you protected but at the same time free, safe and free. So this is the water. You can feel the hug, but at the same time you are free. It seems to fly in the water, so it's the same, and that's what I try to do and to spread. We have to be in an elastic presence. I have to stay close to you, but at the same time I can be far from you to make you free to explore, but at the same time I have to offer you stimulation for special kids, for autistic kids. First of all, sensory stimulation is very important to make them connected in the here and now. And everything I started to build in this approach it was from observation. I think about myself, I think to be the first student of them, and that's what I say always to therapists. We have to observe, we have to learn, and then we can teach. So every day I can learn, and I ask to parents to do the same. So we have to observe, and every kid can teach us what is better for her or for them. So, and what my strong mission is being different from the general point of view is try to shape the behavior, try to change behavior, because this is not right, this is not adequate. And my point of view is very different, it's very far. The behavior is like a voice to say something that we usually don't want to understand. I can be very inadequate if I'm not fine here, and if I don't have the right words to say help me, or to say I'm not fine, but if I can't translate in your language, and I have another language, I have to use my body to say something. So if I need to pee and I can't say that,
Yeah.
I have to.
Find
I
another
have
way.
to, yeah. And but usually they receive other reaction. So they need to pee. They can set up, but the general vision is they have to stay seated. They have to stay here because they have to be focused on the task on the table. But you don't know what they are feeling at the moment. It's very important. So first of all, I have to come into their world, and then I can ask them to come into my world. And our world is a conventional world. So, and we think about our rules, but the most important thing is understanding the kind of rules we have. We have conventional rules, so non logical rules. Like you cannot stay with cap in the room or in the classroom, no?
Sure.
But it's not logical. It's like it's not good, no? For some conventional rules that we built, we created, but and everyone, a lot of people think that special kids cannot understand rules, cannot accept rules. First of all, yeah, could be right, but first of all is because they're not logical rules, and they are very logical. So it doesn't make sense, and maybe I cannot accept. Second, because we did mistakes when we introduce rules, because we don't use something in according to their functioning. They have a associative thinking, and if we make an association between classroom and cap, they can understand. But if we just say you don't do that, you must not wear cap in here, or they can't understand, because maybe it's 5 minutes before mom say please wear the hat because it's cold.
Yeah,
No?
sure.
Yeah.
And now
So-
somebody else is asking you to take it off.
yeah, it's very different. So what we have to do is be specific, be very clear. So in the classroom, no hat, no cap. And they can understand very easy because it's association. Classroom cap, they can see the other, and no cap around me. So I can understand. So if we are very
Hello.
Sorry, Jackie.
Yeah. Ciao.
ciao,
Later. Juka.
Juka, okay.
Yeah. Oh, he's not Italian one.
Sir.
Who are we translating to?
Tell
Oh,
me.
you are. Okay, sorry.
Okay. You want something?
Yeah, sure. In a minute.
Dimenticate.
It's locked out of my room.
Locked in your room?
Out of my room.
Out of your... that's always
Yeah, I
handy.
just got here like very late last night. And, so everything was still all over the place, and then I had to find my way. Everybody's like the keys in one. There's a volunteer sleeping in the room, so I couldn't get inside. The usual stuff. Everything's okay. So there's a pool here. Okay.
Yes.
A little bit like me, so.
Yeah, I just arrived after like a lot of trekking yesterday, and arrived after like a lot of trekking yesterday, and
I'm a clinical psychologist, so I work with every person. I had a experience with disabled kids, so I started to create an specific approach for them. And I usually always in my training course, that if we are able to work with autistic kids, we can work with everyone.
for sure.
Because they're
That's my main thing.
Yes.
Everybody is.
Yeah. Because
I agree.
because everyone is as a autistic part inside at the same time. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. And I use a lot of metaphor, and I think every one of us in a very difficult situation, like with a lot of anxiety, can have the same strategies of autistic kids. No? So, but we are lucky because sometimes we can translate our feelings, no, in words.
More easy.
Yeah. So that's the reason why if we work on our empathy, we can better understand
Unlock.
their reaction. Right? So, and usually I use a lot of role playing in training course or in workshop, and everyone is stoked after the role play because they can start to understand and think about autism like not something very far, but
Quite
something
similar, yeah.
inside. No? So
I understand.
and parent can start to cry because they can start to think
Understandable.
differently, you know, and maybe I'm wrong
Other
with,
world.
yeah, because we use a lot words. You know, we every day we use words and we think about the words like a common thing to share.
Yeah.
But when we have, for example, when we have a autistic guy who is able to speak very well, we can forget his functioning, and we treat him like a normal guy, a normal person, because we give a huge importance to words, no? But he has the same function, and sometimes he can leave something worse because of his ability to speak, to talk. But we have to, first of all, I think we have to learn from them to think in the right way. No? It's like we use a lot of strange way to talk, like, okay, in Italy is we can do 2 steps together. No? It's like walking. No? It's like something
It's like a way of connecting is like, oh, we'll go for a walk and talk it over or something.
So where, how long? No? There are a lot of specific information that usually we don't give to the other, to first of all to special kids, and they can't understand not because of their cognitive functioning, but because they are much more logical than us to handle anxiety. If I am autistic, I have to use logic or thinking to survive, because I can't translate my feeling in words. So it's like I'm Italian, I'm not so good in English, and if I have to understand, if you use specific words and information, I can have much security to put down my anxiety. But if you are so general, using some slangs, words or expression, I can't be sure, and I can have high level anxiety, and I have to release my anxiety in some way. So maybe I don't smoke, but maybe someone can, I have to smoke,
Find a way.
I find a channel, or I have to walk, or I have to swim, no? So, but trying to be adequate, because we are conventional, but for them it's different. So maybe they can be scared of something because we are not so clear. So I don't know how long, or I don't know where I have to go, or we will be there.
Yeah.
So-
Why are we going?
Why?
What's the reasons?
And so I have to release this intensity, and maybe I have to jump. And for us, it's just
we know.
yeah, or jump is the same behavior. I don't want to see that
Yeah.
because she has to be like the other, but she can't work like the other because she has a different functioning. And I don't mean high functioning or low functioning.
Just different.
Yeah. It's very different. It's autistic functioning. It can be very similar to our functioning when we have difficult situations. So like in the hospital, and you are waiting for your loved one, but you are in China and not in Australia or in where you can speak and understand. So and you don't know how long will be the surgery, for your dad or for your son or for your brother, for your partner. You are very worried. You try to have confirmation, to have direction and
like an
news,
answer.
novelties, about the future, about what will happen, and
You can't express.
and for sure you will start to stand up from your seat and you try to release walking. And if someone try to stop you without help, not in an empathetic way, but just you have to stay here, you can have a bad reaction because you are very full of anxiety, because maybe you understood at the beginning that the surgery will last 1 hour at maximum and is 2 hours, but no one
He's giving you information.
and you are very full. Maybe you are thinking about the worst thing, maybe he's dead, I don't know, and I'm very full, but no one can share with you. So you have to walk. I try to think to be blocked. You have to stay here in an empathetic way. You can have your outburst, your tantrum, and this is my reaction, because if you think about this kind of situation, it can be a nightmare, and every day for them is a nightmare, because we don't know how they are, what they're feeling. So the most important thing is, I wrote a book called Reading the Silence, because the first step is don't talk too much, because they don't love words, and we work on speech a lot, but it's very useful because the word is the word.
Makes the world happen for you.
It's very
If
important.
if you're able to do that.
And if we speak, if we talk, we can understand our thinking, no? So it's very important. But usually we start to use our channels, and my approach is different, because I have to observe you. I have to recognize your channel. And if I want to treat you, I have to love you. So, and if I want to love you, I have to respect your channel. I have to start from your channel. If you are a singer, I can sing with you. I can listen to your song. If you are a surfer, I can be with you on the beach. If you are a writer, I can read your book or your journal. I have to stay with you, and I have to. If you don't like eating fish, I don't invite you in a fish restaurant. But they are living this way. This life, no? They don't like fish, but every day they have to eat fish, because they don't like talk, because it's not a problem for an organic part of the throat or something like to articulate the words. The most of the time, they can start all at once, suddenly, to talk perfectly if they have the right model to follow, no? So it's very important working on the speech, but starting from the silence. So I can use your sounds. I can, for example, a guy that we know is accustomed to sing in a very strange way, but if you pay attention to his way, it's something amazing. It is, I can't explain translating in English, but if you sing a song, it starts immediately to sing in another way because it use lower notes like melody, harmonic in a harmonic way. So you can't understand immediately, but if you observe, if you pay attention, he uses a very good. Is very expert in music. Maybe he has a absolute hearing, as to recognize the notes, the right notes. So if you use his melodies, it can be very focused on you because you start to use his channel. And the first time that a mother fall down into the water for the emotion, and that was very for me what is the best memory about my experience, because she was so happy that fall down into the water for the emotion. She was with backpack and like this one, but and the guy, the kid, the small kid, said for the first time, "Mom," in the pool, and I was honored. But everything happened because we started to use his channel. We skinned a lot in the water, and the mom said, "Please stop," and I said, "Please don't worry, I have to spin with him." And we started to spin together, and he started to look at me with a very focused eye, gaze like this. And I said, "I'm sorry, I can't understand if there's a problem here, because it was the first time in the pool together, and he was 6 years old. But I say, maybe I can't understand the problem, but don't worry, no expectation. When you want, I'm here. Okay? I really just this." They started to be more relaxed, coming close to me, give him another saying to his mom, for the first time, she fall down. It's the best example to say, to explain that if we start from their channel, avoiding to stop them, they can open the door, because they need to use the channel. Stereotypes is something that everyone wants destroy, but it's their voice. It's their voice to say, "I'm here, I need something," or "Please help me." So, and my approach is built on this acknowledgement. I love the stereotypes because the stereotypes are a bridge to connect them, and every activities that I use are stereotypes. So the dynamics have to be like a stereotype. So if you know stereotypes are stereotype has three characteristics: motor activity, like motor, and relationship between cause and effect. In fact,
so action and the reaction.
Yeah.
So what happens and how he reacts.
Yeah, like they
The consequence of something, isn't it?
they are very, very interested in finding and discover the relationship between the button and the reaction, or like this, or something that like a fun, no spin.
How it happens.
Happen. If I try to do something, I have to find the reaction. I have to understand, because it's a logical mechanism, and I can be sure.
Control.
Say, I can control something in a world that is unpredictable. So I have to control. And this is the difference between an engineer and a poet. No, and a writer. This is it's the same. Difference. So engineer try to have everything under control to be safe from the emotional point of view. Usually engineer engineers are not so able to talk about emotion. Poets are very accustomed to talks to say about emotions. Maybe are not so organized. No, maybe I'm here with my poems. Oh, where are my poems? Because they forget the poems at home. But it's the same. We are more poets than them, but they are. This doesn't mean that I don't mean that they are.
No poets as well.
Yes, they are the best poets in their heart, but they can't translate this
Into
kind
words, just because they cannot
So they use numbers to stay, because the first step is I have to be regulated to be the poet. You know, if I don't, if I can't regulate myself, I can't say I love you, because I can't stay here to say that. So the third characteristic of a stereotype is sensory stimulation. So every stereotypes have sensory stimulation inside, like this, or like walking on the tiptoe, no? Or like this, or jumping. Is they need to lose the balance to have the balance. It's a very different condition from us, but I'm sorry, but there is a lot of ignorance in this field, and we try to understand from our point of view. But if we know what autism or this dyslexia work are very similar, we have to know that they have a different kind of thinking, a very different speed in thinking, and they have a lot of like a hyperactive functioning in thoughts, so they can't translate easily in the right words, because they are very focused on what they feel, and they have to handle something in a different way, no? So I have to understand. I can understand if you are angry with me or not. I have to understand him, you, her, and I have to be here adequate. It's very difficult because they have a different way to receive. They can receive every feeling, and they have to handle without words. So, and their way to say I'm full is just an outburst, but this is wrong for us. So, and we put other anxiety. They can be frustrated for sure, and it's a cycle. It's a never-ending nightmare. But if we start to we have to be empty glass. And this is the reason why it's much easier for a therapist or a volunteer or a worker because it's a psychological rule. It's control and anxiety. Yeah, it's the same. I have to know to be calm. You know? If I don't know what happened, I can be like this. You know? Like, and everything can be bad
Anything can
for
happen.
me. Yeah.
So do that
I'm really glad I came.
in
I
Australia.
was so tired, like.
Now more tired.
No. I was going to say I got on a
to
bus
go,
in Australia, and the perception is that because I'm Western and I live there, I don't live there. I live here, and I'm supposed to know where to go.
You have to.
And then I don't, and I
You are
say,
doing a lot
does
of
this
things.
bus go to
Except a very big
blah blah
change.
blah? I'm quite vulnerable, and I don't know which stop
I'm
to
so
get on
close
to
to
the
my
That
border.
happens
departure,
all the time when you're new to
Yeah.
something.
I have
That's so.
we have
I just
also
had it in
the
Malaysia,
cool-
like panic
the
attack.
COVID kind.
I'm mean, we
But
can
just
contain
with,
it
with what you're saying
because
before about finding
maybe don't let us. Because I'm more
helping
like,
her learn,
okay,
but
if I
with
miss that
sensory
step, I'll walk back to
stimulation.
the next
Like,
one.
how do you find those
That's a bit
things of like,
rationality.
what's she meant to be learning? You know, like, I don't know, what am I going to teach her? Like, and
But
how
her
do I know,
perception
like,
is that
when
I'm supposed to know
she always
because
wants her iPad and stuff, like, she's,
Actually, I'm not.
or
I
she's
have a
doing the
passport
DJing
from
thing,
them,
but
I'm
she's
not.
overstimulating
and they think I
compared to
know.
when she's doing the
Oh, you get on
DJing
the
thing,
bus,
because
you know
she's
where to go.
learning,
haven't
she's
lived
something's
here for
going on
17
with her,
years, like,
and she's developing her musical
I don't know the
talent
name
or
of some
ability.
fellas.
Like,
Very true.
how do you distinguish that? Like,
Yeah.
and how do I know
Yeah, no,
what am I
it's
going to teach her now?
No,
Like,
it's not easy, but you have to think about a twice function in when she uses iPad or something like this, because it's something that she needs to survive. She needs to learn something. She needs to control. At the same time, she can be. The iPad can be the jail, no, the prison, because she cannot get out from iPad. So we have to use first the iPad in a specific time, in a specific area. Could be very useful. Like, okay, from today we can use iPad like this. You can change some example, but we can use iPad here in this room, on this table, or where you want. But here is a container, and we can do this activity from, for example, in the morning from 10 to 11, and in the afternoon from 3 to 4. Okay? And she can think about something, but in the here now, connected to the time, connected to your words, and I can paradoxically, can I say that? Paradoxically, I can be finer because I can control my obsession using the iPad, because I can be in the iPad, but at the same time out of the iPad, because I have to remember the time. Yeah, and say I'm here and I can be connected. And this is the way to start from her channel, but at the same time making her connected here. Usually, like guitar, I play guitar. I love playing guitar too, as well. But if I don't give me the time, I can say
for hours.
For hours. At the same
Or surfing for hours until it's sunburned.
You are tired. At the same time, you are not so happy because maybe you can lose some opportunities to go somewhere or to leave something else, and you can start to hate your interest, because I can lose myself here.
Yeah.
You know? But if you I can play guitar. Wow, I have 2 hours free. You know, I'm free. Just 2 hours, and I just switch off the phone. I just focus on my guitar, and I can enjoy, and I can learn a lot. But I aware that this is my time for guitar, because she comes into iPad and she's lost, and that's the reason why you can be confused about she's doing something to learn something using her channel, or she's just lost. No?
So giving her kind of like, because you're informing her that in half an hour the scenery will change.
Yeah.
It's an informed.
Yeah,
She's informed about
and
it.
thank you, because you remind me of very important things. If you say 3-4, for example, from 3 to 4, it's better if you tell something about after 4, because it's the gap. No, and I can't accept the end of something like. A lot of people say I prefer to imagine to believe that after that there is something like ever, or maybe something bad, but there is something. It's the same.
It's hell.
Yeah.
At least it's not nothing.
Yeah, it's better. No, it's the
but
same.
that's
It's the same. We have to think about something after. So, and this is the paradox. She can accept the time, and I can swear, because it's my experience. Bring me here and broke me here. Sorry, and sometimes they prefer to say stop. It's the right time giving the iPad back because it's a comfort zone. I know I have the confirmation. I can give you the confirmation. Everything is okay. And at 4 I study something, but everything is like I knew. No, so I can be sure. And sometimes parents prefer to but it's like to the last one in therapy session. We always say the last 3 jumps, for example, and then stop. So they have containers, 3 jumps more,
And then they
and
know.
then stop. And sometimes parents say, but he's so happy, one more jump. And this is the worst thing because container is not real, and they can lose the trust in us. 'Cause it's
So you're not sticking to your
Yeah.
word.
Yeah.
You're not,
Exactly.
So you're kind of like
Yeah.
Unpredictable.
Yeah, I'm pretty. So this word is not like. Sorry, the last one thing because I'm very
Makes
popular.
sense,
But like the speed. No, we think the speed is that. Don't drive fast, so fast. For Valentino Rossi, fast is fast. for us, we drive
60
motorbike
is fast, yeah.
a lot. For us maybe, but for a beginning of motorbike or for the classical mother, is fast is like this is too fast. So it's not so real, so concrete. So you have to train them like using sensory stimulation, using like can I? Yes. Please, if you say like using the voice, maybe she wants to run because she's excited to go into the pool, and then say, okay, fast. Maybe steps, but with the voice. Fast. Stop, freezing like this, and she can
Relate.
be happy. And at the same, because I use stereotypes because it's motor activity, sensory stimulation, and cause and effect. Like stop. And now finally she can understand what does it mean. Stop means. Stop. It's like because I came from running. Now stop. And I can be excited at the same time I can learn. This is stop. And that's the reason why every parent say, wow, Aristotle after this kind of training, if they say stop, because they run into, they stop. You say,
it happens.
why? It happened? Because they can have the experience of this. Stop.
That's a lot to remember. It's like so many but it makes complete
My
sense.
student goes double this, double that, double this, double that, double that. And then he goes, so I go, do you want to do it fast? Do you want to go slow? And he goes,
Yeah, this is.
this.
Yeah.
He taught me
Great.
that. He taught me that. I didn't know that. He taught me
So
that.
But and that for him is learning numbers or just like
Oh, just-
engagement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a
Where you guys
conversation and
working about?
everything, but he taught me double this.
Oh, the
double
hand
this,
clapping
this,
thing.
double
Yeah.
that, double this, double that, double that.
Which I guess is to do with coordination.
Exactly, but then he would go
I have a collaboration with a
and I'll give him a choice. What you want to do.
I worked with Sanhati, ex-Sanhati, which was Sarihati and Sanhati long time ago.
Me.
Kind of
I
Yeah.
honestly didn't know it, and then I obviously
now
can
they're
teach
called
somebody
Sahaya
else.
I used to try and get Freya to go, tap and then clap. Tap on the
Yeah,
clap,
you could do
tap,
it.
clap. And she just would not do it. Like, but I think it's like what Antonio is saying, like I wanted her to be able to do this and this. Like, I wanted her to be able to put the pen there. It's like, why would I want to put the pen there? Like, and then, not that long, not that long after, she comes home with the French couple that are nannying for her, and like one of these hand clapping things. I'm like, huh? Like, what?
Different styles.
When I'm trying to teach her the thing, she's not wanting to do it because it's like, well, maybe it's not fun.
Somebody else
Because I'm
can
trying
do
to
it
tell her,
differently.
you have to do this to be like this before you'll get that. when these other guys, it's just like they were doing it together, and then she sees it, and then she wants to learn
She
that.
might learn it that way and that way, because we had a thing where you actually generalize. You achieve something and then you generalize it. Achieve something means, yeah, I can do it. Generalize it means, can they do it for you, and you.
And in different
Only
environments.
one person,
Yeah.
maybe exactly different people, different environment.
Yeah, yeah,
And with them,
yeah.
For me, I'm not as rigid in some way. I'm more like,
I
if
gardened
I
since 6
feel
years
that
and
you
I'm
can
doing
do it,
tomatoes and
depending
this.
on,
And when they plant,
does it have to be the highest quality? Is it suitable for you? Is
So
it
it
okay
makes me like,
for you?
and they're in wheelchairs, so they have to first
might be
make the
there,
road
you might be
for
doing that.
wheelchairs in the garden, which is already so
I
hard.
take it as I see it.
And then they have to reach
I
down, so
probably
they
would
make,
use
they
a
say, oh, let's make it
education
tall,
system,
make big
probably
wheels.
to help
So
to
they have
communicate,
so much more.
maybe possibly more.
Orientation.
There's just so many things around
It makes me feel.
what are the things we're trying to teach them? Why are we trying to teach them that? You know, like, why should everybody have to go to school? Like, is that actually
I
the
never
best
used
thing to
algebra
learn?
in my
You
life.
know? Hey.
But if
Yeah.
you're an engineer, you may have to. I mean, schools got their thing that they put the kids through. They get their brief.
Yeah.
But
But you could spend a year. Yeah, you could spend a year learning algebra, or you could spend a year on a boat learning electronics. What's more useful? You know, what are they going to use in their life?
Yeah.
I didn't use some of the other things.
You're recognizing and
I've got a limit too, that when it's like mathematics, I also teach math. I teach every subject.
Yeah.
If that's my brief, what I'm there for,
Yeah.
depending on the student. But for example, if the student later is in high school, I would probably pass the mathematics on. Because,
yeah, it's very hard.
you know, school nowadays you have to show every way that to do it, not the short way that I can think. I know the answer because I do the short way. They need to learn the whole formula.
Yeah, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, I got a student, he got 97% in maths.
Wow.
He's very academic. And that.
Is that really helping
Actually,
him, or
Mum's Chinese, they're really
yeah?
rigid with.
But maybe he could like turn that into a talent. Like, it'll become part of his talent and help
He
him.
enjoys it.
Or it'll just, you know, be something that it's like, oh God, I got to do
He
this again.
enjoys
Like,
it.
you hate doing it. Yeah.
He did a thing before. He's turned out to be a really nice kid, actually. And we've got really. He would go to school, for example, and maybe he would annoy somebody, kick them. When he got home, he had to write 50 times, I do not kick, I do not kick, I do not kick. I came out and said, absolutely not, because he got 300 times, I do not kick, I do not kick. You know? Absolutely not. You know, we changed all of that. You know, I mean, I know him also for a long time. And I mean, he doesn't do any of that anymore.
Learning about
Thing like learning different ways,
places in
learning
the tropics
scenarios, learning things
pick
in
up
a
more
book
information
that's
on how
relevant.
to
He doesn't
work
have
it
to
out.
read. You know, he's not supposed to kick a ball. Blah blah blah. He used to get a ball and throw it over somebody. The other kids were playing with the ball, and then he'd get the ball.
There is no other option.
Somewhere else. It annoyed every other child. And so we learned different ways for him to be included.
It's really like to make it
Fully
more
included.
fun.
He sat in the middle of
It's
two
not
two
very
people
fun
in
anymore.
class.
A long time ago when
And he
farmers
would
were
take
farming, they
you.
would sing.
He doesn't particularly like girls.
You
tell
farm
you
and
the
you
truth.
sing and it's finished.
He told me
You know,
that.
but now farming is
And then
just
he would
boring,
annoy them and
only
annoy them and put him on the end. He can only annoy one.
In maybe 50 years, there's no more farming.
Yeah.
Especially in Bali, you know.
Things work,
We're
but you got to try
you know, I
different
went to
things.
just now in Malaysia. I was there for 3 weeks. I did a farm and they
Yeah, I was just listening to a bit what he was saying, like, because I'm thinking
crazy farming situation in an island.
Jika
that
is about organic farming and healthy farming,
maybe
making farming
1
fun,
kilometer
making it a
long,
community
half
activity,
kilometer
which we've
wide.
kind of lost in our culture, and he's saying it's being lost a bit
it's
in
like-
Bali. You know, now it's only the old people that farm and the poor people, whereas and same in Australia. Whereas with the like the Bhutanese people in Cairns, like it's a community activity, and that's actually what I'm moving towards with Freya. It's like, well, where do we want to live, and what kind
They
of
know how to use the land. You know? It's so
what kind of
and
community do I want
so
her to
with
be
enough
part
time,
of? What do I want to
the
see her
forest
doing
really
every
big,
day? Do I want her to
becomes
just be
always
living in a
running
city
water.
and commuting from her little box house
But-
to a day centre where there's all just other disabled kids and maybe a few people like working in the disability industry, or do I want her day to be like, oh, let's wake up in the morning, let's go down to the garden and let's pick some strawberries or whatever it is to put in our smoothie for breakfast. Let's go and milk the cow. You know, like that's all stuff that these kids can do. That could be fun. That could be social. That could be. It's part of what we can do in life anyway. That would actually make it a lot less necessary for us to work in corporate crap jobs if we actually produced our own food and did all this stuff together, and it creates a natural environment, a natural community, a natural safety around kids with disabilities.
If somebody came up with criminal type of things, and then I thought to myself,
we don't plant tomato. Bali don't have
Amish
tomatoes
people.
a long time
I
ago.
thought, you know what,
They
there's
don't have
less
salad.
crime
They don't have.
with the Amish people because they do a lot
These
of
potatoes are different. You have potatoes that always
I
grow
didn't
and
particularly like
tomatoes
is
that always
you know,
grow. Like the
they
local
would force a woman to dress a
many years.
particular way.
And they don't have iPads. That would suck.
You know what, I have got an email.
Information,
I'm not on
learning how they
Facebook
do
all the
it,
time, and like
and
I
then
said
seeing
before,
how we can use it
if I'm
here.
on Facebook, I end up
It's like-
hours on that thing, trying to look at what everybody else
Every
took
time you learn
pictures of
something
whatever
new,
they
you're
ate
like, oh my
yesterday,
God, this is
which is
just
of least interest to
amazing.
me,
How
but
you
the
guys
interest
do
to
it.
them.
And then connecting that.
Life is a bit about balance.
Because you go to
I
a
kick
farm in
myself
Java,
because
there's a farm in
I
Java.
wasted so many
Very
hours
close,
on
central,
Facebook.
north, central, south. And
And
they
I
don't know
think
each
it's
other.
waste, but the next person likes
So I
it.
go to one and I say, wow, this is such a great idea. I go
I don't
there.
really think that
They
they're
say, well, these guys have such a great idea.
an
And we say,
answer.
we don't know.
Oh, you can waste too much time, but I think like Dr. Antonio said, if you give yourself a container and then you do have that time to just browse through, oh, look what my grandparents did on the weekend. Oh, look what's happening over here. Like, oh, shit, look at that. But if you let it drag out into 3 hours, then it's unhealthy. But if you just give yourself, okay, this is my 1 hour time and you stick to that, then it's like you are staying connected. It's like, didn't you see the photos I put on Facebook? No, you know.
So if you ever come
I've
to
just
Java,
changed the
Yeah.
appointment to somebody for
small
half an hour
community
appointment, which is totally different than anybody else can
Take
do
my
here.
information.
Half an hour and he's got a little clock.
And if there is a day,
And
maybe a
when
better
it's
day
supposed
for
to
me
be
to come,
we're
maybe
finished.
when it's
Do you know what? He did 20 or 25 minutes without screen.
Did you pay
I didn't pay, no.
No, I've got mine.
Yeah, this session was actually going to be about Henny. I want to call him Henny. In a minute, but for him to share about how he works with Sebastian, so that was going to like show, you know, to share, yeah, basically, and that's why I asked Juka as well, so he could translate like more from the Bahasa if it's hard. I paid for this one already, just the coffee.
And I'm going to do mine. Don't worry about me. I'm fine.
Yeah, don't worry. It's okay.
Just the coffee. One coffee.
Being very quiet.
Yeah, I already paid for this one.
You didn't get a chance, did you? I was waiting for you.
Yeah, I was-
What's his name?
Harry.
Was it?
Harry.
Harry, yeah.
Java.
Di mana? Apa?
Bondowoso.
Bondowoso.
Saya suami.
Tape Bondowoso, yes.
Saya suami dari Malang.
You like tape?
Bondowoso is on the way to Jawa Tengah from here.
Jawa,
No, yeah.
yeah.
But when you take the train,
East.
stop in Bondowoso. No, because I remember when I
Jimber.
when I went to Central Java, somebody was saying because I like the sound Bondowoso. It's really nice.
Iya,
Like
Bondowoso. Tape nya Tahu. Kalau tahu mah Kediri ya.
Yeah.
Kediri.
Kediri ya.
Yeah.
From Java also.
From Manado.
From Manado. Sulawesi.
North Sulawesi ya. Sulawesi Utara.
Ya. Nak ujung dan lain.
Selatan ujung pandang.
Makassar.
Makassar ya Sulawesi.
I was saying that this session was going to be about Harry, like sharing from how he works with Sebastian. So like I can maybe translate that to back in English, or for what you're saying, I'd like to ask Juka to translate for Indonesian. It's like, yeah. So, but maybe when I come back, like we could come and see you, and me and Juka. You're always here in Bali.
Yeah.
We could maybe come and see you after Dr. Antonio leaves and meet with you and have a session and
Yeah.
to
We can keep in touch and we can. Yeah, I think he's here.
Yeah.
He lives here, so
Yeah.
we can.
Yeah, because I'd love to hear what you have to say. I'm like, no, I didn't get to hear what you had to say.
As you say, I told to Harry if you leave some different kids, you can learn a lot. Because if you are focused just on one, you think about autism like him, no?
Yeah.
You have to. It's like traveling, no? I have to change my perspective, no? So that's the reason why I think.
Can become too familiar in some way.
Yeah. If we are in a circle, everything is better because we can receive from others and we can understand better because you are focused on Freya, but if you think about other kids, you can discover in Freya something that you can't see when you are. It's like
That makes so much
yeah,
sense.
it's like looking at a painting from here. You are too
Yeah.
close, and you look this.
Cannot see.
It's so bad, but if you are far, it's the same.
Yeah.
So it's good staying in a circle, thinking about someone else to come back to our kids.
Yeah. And just one more hopefully really quick question. How do you like when you're saying you give the containers, so you say, okay, 1 to 2 o'clock we're doing this, da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, can you just scribble it on a piece of paper? Or like some kids are auditory, like Freya, I think she's more visual, so having like the symbols like this. But me, I'm hopeless at organizing the symbols, keeping them in one place. Like they're all over the place, and it's like, how do, like as a parent, I don't know how.
Which one?
Yeah, I have the Velcro. Like, yeah, it's just I have to get over my own perfectionism around it, but.
Well, I guess you can
Getting it from the thing to the printer to the laminator to the thing without like
You can always rely on your voice and on touching now. So that's you can. Okay,
Yeah,
organizing
maybe
it is
like a
really hard.
song
Always,
or something.
Touch and talk, like you said, or
Yeah.
If you want to use some writing, something to use to exploit her visual thinking, you can use just a few words like, for example, school at 10 school, because he heard a lot of time this word. So he knows school is school, but associations 10 school, 11 pool, like this you can use just word, not so a lot of drawing, or because there are a lot of parents that
it's actually that's the problem I have is the association, because if whatever symbol is in the book, like pool, it's like, but are we going to this pool or this pool? Like school, it's like, well, we could be going to Sarihati, we could be going to Jimbaran, we could be going to school in Australia, we could be going, it could be the autism school in the Philippines.
You have
like
to think about what you are living here, for example, and if you change every day and she sees a lot of school, it's different. But if she, for example, she lives just this pool, she can understand easily that pool is here, Dharma pool. So you have to say just pool, because what is important is the experience. Like if he is my friend, for me friendship is him. So this is my experience. So, and that's the reason why you can use just a few words or just a simple drawing, like the roof with school. School. Something very.
Because I think I seem to overcomplicate things too much in my own mind, and it's like, well, are we actually going out to school because we're visiting our friends there, or are we going to school because we're going there to learn something, or are we going to the park to play on the swings, or are we going to the park for the exercise to have a walk to go to the park? But we're not going to play on the swings when we get there. Like I'm like the
containers and every procedure step by step. So because if you tell her a lot of baby steps, you can drive crazy. She can.
Yeah.
But you have to see, like, you know, that in the school
I think
you can
that's
meet
my
some
autism.
friends, but most important thing is that we have to go to the school. Then I can tell you maybe how long we stay here or what we have to do here, but you can, because you have a relationship with Freya. It's different when we think about different person with Freya or therapy session. It's different. She has to understand and to know everything
Trust.
clearly, no? But she trusts you. So we can say just, okay, at 10, school. 11 and other things. You have to be coherent. If you write some timing, you have to
Correct
coherent,
or
no?
correct or current?
Coherent.
Current.
Like as
Current.
Now, as in
Follow
now.
through.
Yeah.
Like,
You have to,
yeah.
because if you say at 10 and at 10 you are on the bed, she say,
Yeah.
Your word is gone.
No, it's very important, not just from the logical point of view, also for her experience about life, because she's not so strong, so expert in relationship, so she can trust relationship if she receives confirmation. So I can trust you if you are coherent
On
with
time.
your words. Yeah, on time with your words. So I can trust you because you can become my safety zone, and that's the first step to go everywhere, to do everything with them. I can swear, honestly and humbly.
I'll ditto it.
A lot of parents say, but with you, my son can do everything. But it's not because I'm different or I'm just coherent, and you can trust me. So, okay, if I stay with you, I'm not problem, no? So I can say fine.
There's nothing that can go wrong.
If I trust him and he say, you want to come with me? Okay, because I trust him. There's no problem. But if I don't know him, you want to come with me? Where? Why?
How long?
How
For
long?
what? Yeah.
For what? No, it's very important. It's different. So if you try to be empty, it's not easy, of your fears. So you have to trust her first. You have to observe her because she's very interesting, doing something. You have to clean your mind about your habits. You know, she does try to be the first student to learn. And okay, I can understand that she can start to do something like this when she's so nervous, when she's happy for something, no? And you can try to, and she can feel your humble way to observe her. And okay, and you have to use association, logical thing, container, and she can trust. And you, so, and you can be the guide. This is the role. You have to be
Like
a lovely, strong guide.
She's like my teacher. I'm not trying to teach her. I'm like trying to work out what she's
Yeah.
On her
trying to
too.
teach me.
It's different being the teacher and being the leader.
Yeah.
Because usually we don't recognize them or they are the leader. So I have to follow, but it's not the way to put them in their life. No? So to teach them something useful, I have to be the leader in the most lovely way, listening to them, observing them. But at the same time, I have to be sure about what is right and what is wrong. Because if I'm not sure,
Then they're not sure.
they're not sure. They can feel our anxiety. They can have outbursts because they have to handle our anxiety
As well.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
Maybe she's actually anxious for you.
yeah.
Maybe because you might be stressed.
Yeah, true.
Daily.
Because when my cortisol levels start going up, like she starts reflecting it.
Oh yeah.
She goes more nutty as well. Like so, but I don't know how to cut my own anxiety levels. Like
No. I mean, yeah.
so that she calms down. You
Ideally,
know.
you might make sure that she's busy for a container amount of time while you're like anxiety in somewhere else. I don't know.
Life is a balance. Okay, so
But as a single parent and you're trying to manage that yourself, and I can't get my own anxiety levels down. You know, it's like that's
easier
where it
said than
becomes
done, but
slightly.
you have to allow yourself
Irritably.
time to be you as well.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
it will take every energy that you have.
Yeah.
And then what can you do?
And every iPad runs out of batteries, right?
Prepare for
And then what?
vote. You have to
He always says to me, oh, do you not
Be the
technology?
iPad.
And I say, you know what, I make a choice
together.
not to have all those things to follow me all the time.